Welcome, my friends, to your complete and ultimate guide on the easiest and fastest way to complete the Paldea Pokedex in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Now, this is just going to be my personal methods on how I went about completing the Pokedex and some tips and tricks that I have for you guys that I learned along the way. Are they the best tips and tricks? Who knows? It's all subjective at the end of the day. You guys can let me know if you have any, other additional tips and tricks or anything that you would change about what I'm presenting here in this video. But I hope this helps you out to at least complete your Pokedex as you make your way through your journey in the Paldea region. If you guys do enjoy this one, stick around for more. We do a variety of Nintendo and Pokemon content on this channel. Non-Nintendo and Pokemon content goes on a different channel, youtube.com/JSkeleton, which you can find linked down in the description below. All right, now that we're done with all the plugs and all the nitty gritty, let's go ahead and jump into this. So the first things first is as you're going through your journey, right? This is pretty much obvious, but I'm going to state the obvious no matter what. As you're going through your journey, make sure that as you're progressing through these paths and stuff, any Pokemon that you're seeing, you're catching as many as you can along the way. Not only is it going to help you in your story progression, but it's going to help you fill out that dex as best as you can. So any Pokemon that you're seeing around, just go ahead. Don't worry to, spend some time, catching as many Pokemon as you can. You can always wait, I guess, till the end of the story, but if you do it along the way, then by the time you're done the story, you've already caught so many Pokemon. I had over half the decks complete just by using this method. And sometimes you're going to see some Pokemon that maybe have more of a rare chance pop up. And, if you wait till the end and you happen to have seen one and you didn't bother kind of going out of your way to catch one, then you're going to be, poop out of luck, if you will, right? So I know that seems like the obvious, but make sure you go ahead and do that. And don't be afraid to explore. Go off track a little bit. Go down some paths. Go off into some mountains. Explore around. Go into some caves and some caverns. There's different kinds of Pokemon that are going to spawn in different regions. Different kinds of Pokemon that are going to spawn in different kinds of environments. Like I said, we got in the fields or around the water or different things like that. Now, of course, it is worth noting that part of the story progression on the Titan path, doing all the Titans, is going to basically unlock some abilities, if you will. That's going to allow you to explore even more areas. So I highly suggest doing that path as soon as possible to unlock as much of these abilities as possible, so you can go ahead and get into some other kinds of tight spaces, such as swimming, for example, right? Well, you can't really swim, but you can ride on the water, but that's an ability that you have to unlock. So again, do the Titan path and all those abilities will be unlocked as you progress. So again, I know that seems like the obvious, but don't be afraid to explore, because some people are. They just want to stick to the story, but definitely go ahead and explore as much as you can. And by doing so, you're going to encounter all these different kinds of Pokemon and catch as many as you can. All right, moving on from that. So this one's going to be implementing one of the new mechanics, and that is eating sandwiches. So you can increase the encounter rate of certain Pokemon. So as you're kind of progressing through the game and whatnot, you're going to unlock more recipes. If you want a complete sandwich guide, I'll link it down in the description below. I'm not going to go into like super details, but basically certain sandwiches are going to give you buffs. As you can see, there's like a bunch of different Pokemon here. In this case, like not Drowsies, Hypnos, that are just kind of spawning around here because I ate a certain sandwich previously. So there is a ton. So especially for some of the more rare Pokemon, if you go through your decks, and by the way, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below that's going to list the entire Pokedex. So if you guys want to go through the list, it'll kind of help you guys out with that. I also have a bunch of evolution guides on the channel for some of the more kind of tricky evolutions that might help you out as well. But anyways, eating sandwiches is going to help you greatly, because again, you can see that there is going to be a bunch of Pokemon that spawn. There's some Pokemon that have as low as like a 1 to 5% spawn rate and counter rate. And if you eat the right, the right sandwiches, it's going to increase the counter rate drastically. I don't know what the exact percentage is. All I know is that for some of these Pokemon that I just couldn't find for like 30 plus minutes, as soon as I ate a sandwich that increased the encounter rate for them specifically, all of a sudden I was able to find lots of those Pokemon. So just going in very briefly, like I said, I have an entire kind of more in-depth guide on sandwich making on my channel if you guys want to check that out. But if you push the X button, you can click picnic mode. Well, it's not mode, but you click the picnic, and when you're in a picnic, you can go up to the table. Now, the ingredients you're going to be able to find at a variety of different stores in all the towns and villages. So make sure you visit those stores, get a bunch of money, which we're going to talk about a little bit in a second, how to, capitalize on money making a little bit, because that's going to help you as well. But as you can see, you unlock a bunch of different recipes. Again, check out that full kind of, in-depth guide. It'll help you out. But you can see different things like this. So for example, if I go over, let's say one of these top ones here, This one here is going to give encounter power ground. That means more ground type Pokemon are going to be spawning. So if there's some Pokemon that are just more rare, you're going to want to eat a sandwich, you know, of that type. So whatever it is, if it's fairy, you look for a sandwich that's, you know, encounter fairy type or whatever it could be, right? Again, some of these sandwiches do different things. This one's for fighting, for example. So you just go ahead and you make one of those sandwiches. And again, as you can see, when you do that, and yes, I do have a lot of Eevees. As you do that, you're going to increase the encounter rate for that type of Pokemon, which is going to help you to be able to find some of the more rare types, because some of these types are very rare and they spawn very infrequently. So keep that in mind. Make sure you guys do that, because that'll be massively beneficial for you. So learn the proper way to utilize sandwich making. So I wanted to give you guys a different environment to look at, but everything's kind of just right in this area right here. So the other thing is picking up ground items. So once in a while, when you're kind of cruising around, you're gonna see like these Pokeball items, and if you go pick those up, they could be all kinds of things. For example, you just seen that I got a Dawn Stone. So you can get evolution stones like that as well. There's another one over here. If I pick this one up, it's an ether. These could be very beneficial because you can also get candy, and obviously candy is going to help you to level up Pokemon that, you know, require leveling up to evolve them. So that's going to be super massive in your playthrough as well. So picking up these items. Now there's also these sparkly items you can see right here. If I pick this one up, it so happens to be a berry. But some of these items can be all kinds of different things. In fact, if I go to a different location, let me go over there right now. Certain areas like the desert, for example, the what is it called again? I completely forgot on the name of this desert. Is the Asado Desert in the west. You're going to find a lot of resources here. Also in the other desert that's on the east coast. You're going to find a lot of resources that you pick up. You're going to see like the shiny things on the ground, which for some reason I'm not finding a lot of them right now at the moment of recording, unfortunately, but you're going to find stuff that you could sell, like Stardust and, you know, star pieces and different things like that. Look, there's another one right here. That so happens to be Larvesta Fuzz. But that's actually good, because if you find stuff like that, that can also help you out as well to sell things, because you're going to want to get as much, there's Stardust right there, as much money as possible. You can also utilize the well, I guess this, whatever this is called, the Let's Go, I guess, mode, where you push the R button and you can send out your Pokemon to go ahead and fight other Pokemon. And the reason you're going to want to do that is that can earn you other kinds of resources, materials, if you will, that you can then sell. So if we go to like a Poke Center, like here, for example, what we could do is two different things. So number one, if we go to the green area, there's going to be all these different things we can exchange materials for LP. So again, you know, defeating all these different Pokemon, I can go, you know, to whatever one that I have here, and you can see I can earn a bunch of LP. So for example, I got Lechonk here. If I was to sell all of it, it would give me 660 LP, which you can then also utilize to buy stuff. The other thing, like I was saying with the Stardust and things like that, is if you go over here to this blue, I guess, section of the Pokemart, you can go ahead and sell stuff. If you go over to the treasure section here, stuff like Comet Shards. Like, look at that. 12,500 for a Comet Shard. We got, you know, pearl strings that are worth like 10,000, other kind of pearls for 1,000, 6,000. This all adds up really quick for Pokedollars too. So if you sell all these different materials for LP and all these different things for Pokedollars, what you can then do is you can actually go and sell stuff. And if you, or so not sell stuff, but what I meant to say is you can go buy stuff with your LP or your dollars, and some of this stuff is going to be like Pokeballs, right? So as you're progressing through the game, if you want to complete your decks, you're going to have to be able to afford a lot of Pokeballs, right? And obviously, as you progress through the game, you'll unlock, you know, other balls like Great Balls, Ultra Balls, Heal Balls, Net Balls, Repeat Balls, Timer Balls, all different things like that. I like using Quick Balls right off the top. If it doesn't work, try to, you know, fight the Pokemon a little bit. And, you know, depending, obviously, we have unlocked at the time of, you know, your story progression, you know, like I said, you know, Great Balls are even better. Ultra Balls are the best that you can use for like a general kind of Pokeball. Quick Balls are very good at the beginning to throw at the very beginning of a fight. Dive Balls are good for, you know, water type Pokemon. Dusk Balls are good for, you know, in caves and things like that. Timer Balls are good if, you know, the battle's been dragging on for a long time. So utilize, you know, this ability to buy and sell, or sell and buy rather, right? To sell all these different materials. So make sure you're picking up as much stuff off the ground as possible so you can, you know, sell them to be able to afford all these Pokeballs, different things like that. Not just that, right? But you're also going to be able to also find certain things that you're going to need. Like sometimes, like I said, you can find Pokeballs, off materials off the ground. You can find candy, whether it's small candy, medium candy, rare candy, right? Which is going to be an entire level. All these different kinds of things like that. So make sure as you're progressing, you're picking up as much of this stuff as you can, because there's so much of it, as you guys can see. So pick up all that stuff. But we actually have another way to get more of these materials, and even at a faster rate, and also encountering Pokemon you may have never encountered before. So let's talk about that real quick. All right, so as you progress through the story, you're going to unlock these things called raids. Now, the further you are in the story, the more, I guess, difficult ones you're going to unlock. So there's like 1 star, 2 star, 3, 4, 5, and eventually 6 when you do the 4th story, the post story, basically, if you will. They look like this on the map. They're like these little diamond looking things. They all have an element on them. So this one's fire type, this one grass type. So you know exactly what kind of element of Pokemon to bring to the fight. Now you can't really tell what star they are just by hovering over it like this. You're going to have to go to the location. But when you go to the location, whoa, I got a lot of Tauruses around here. They're going to look like this, like these crystal looking things, right? These crystal dens. If you interact with it by pushing A at it, you're going to be able to see what the Pokemon is, well, at least a shadow of it. You're not going to know for sure. We also can see how many stars it is, right? The higher the stars, the better the rewards, the more rewards as well. And from these, you can go ahead and either challenge alone, or you can challenge as a group to go online, which is very, very useful. Now, from these, you're going to get all kinds of rewards, right? Let me go in here and I'll show you guys what kind of rewards you're going to get from a 3-star. But you can get stuff from that is sellable. So some of the things we're talking about, stuff like star pieces, stuff like comet shards. Again, you're going to get some of those better rewards off of the, higher tier, the higher star raids. And so this might be something that you're going to get, even be able to capitalize even more on later in the game, as opposed to earlier on. But check some of this, as soon as you get, kind of the earlier lower star raids, you can check some of those out and see what you can get. But here's the thing, it's 2 birds, 1 stone, because you can find Pokemon in here that are catchable, and they're very easily catchable. All you gotta do is win the battle, and it's an instant catch no matter which Pokeball you throw at it. And you can find Pokemon that you don't currently have, and that's the beauty of it. So it's kind of like a 2 birds, 1 stone, right? And if you do them online, and I'm going to show you guys how that works in just a second here, you can actually find, Pokemon from the opposite version than the game you actually currently have. So just from a 3-star raid, I got 1 small candy, 2 medium candy right here. I got a bunch of materials that I can go ahead and sell. I got some more medium candies down here. So I got a bunch of candies that I can use, like I said, to level up Pokemon and evolve them later on. But also, you can also get all kinds of material, right? A lot of the stuff you guys just seen that I had that was sellable, like the comet shards and star pieces, a lot of that was gotten from these raids. So definitely do the raids, like 100% do as many raids as you can, because like I said, you can get all kinds of great rewards that are going to help you greatly, because there is going to come a point where you're going to have to evolve a lot of Pokemon by leveling them up, and it's going to require either just spending a lot of time or a lot of candy. Now, I do have a guide on how to level up fast. There is kind of a little, cool way to do that just by battling a bunch of Chanseys. It just requires sandwich making and all that. I'll link that down in the description below. I don't want to take up too much time in this video, but you can also use that method as well to help you kind of level up Pokemon. In terms of doing these raids online, what you're going to want to do is push the X button, go to Pokeportal down here. What we're going to do is there's going to be a Tera raid battle section right here. You're going to click on that. That's going to open up a menu with all these currently online available raids. Now keep in mind, you got to be quick if you want to jump into one, because these refresh every so often. You can push X to check for new postings. It's going to be kind of grayed out at first, but the interesting thing is you can actually see, for example, if you look at these ones right here, the first 2 Eevees, for example. There's currently an Eevee event going on right now, which is why there's a bunch of gold ones that are Eevee at the time of recording this. But you can see these ones have the grape badge in the background. That means these are violet raids. But you can see this one has an orange in the background. That means it's a Scarlet raid. So again, you can find Pokemon from other versions of the game. Right now, most of these are going to be Violet for me. I am playing on Violet. There's only 1 Scarlet at the time of recording this. But again, you can just click on any of these ones that you want to join. And you can see all the different stars. You can see what the Pokemon are, what the type are. There's link codes if you already have the code. If someone gave you a code to join their raid battle, there's also random different things like that. So these are just great ways to get into all kinds of raids, encounter a variety of different kind of Pokemon that you can then catch, as well as getting all these materials, which is going to help you, like I said, to buy more Pokeballs, and obviously buy or unlock rewards such as things like candy. It's going to help you level up and evolve your Pokemon. All right, so the next thing is evolution items. Now, like I said, you can find a lot of these evolution items just picking up random resources you're going to find on the ground as you progress through your game. You know, the sparkling stuff and the Pokeballs, all those kind of resources you find on the ground. But you can actually buy them. So as you progress and you unlock more gym badges, the more gym badges you unlock, you need at least 3 to kind of kick things off. Then you're going to unlock the ability to purchase evolution items at this store called Delibird Presents. Now, there's 2 specific locations that are going to have the majority of the items. Now, the first one's going to be down here in the plaza of the academy, if you will. So you can see they look like a present right over here. So there's one here, Delibird Presents. There's another one up here. There's like 3 different ones, if not more. I think there might actually be 4. No, it's 3. So there's 3 in this plaza, and this is gonna have these ones are gonna have the majority of what you need. But there's going to be some that you can only actually get over here, which is going to be in Levincia. So Levincia is the one I'm at right now. I'll show you guys what that looks like and how much they cost. And again, it's going to be a little bit later in the game. You're going to unlock some badges and things like that. But if you go down to general goods, you can see that you got fire stones, thunder stones, leaf stones, water stones, both apples to unlock apple in. You got a bunch of different stuff like that. You got the soothe bell to help increase friendship, because some of the Pokemon evolve via friendship. You have all kinds of different things that are going to help you with evolutions. Now, if you go to battle items, there's certain Pokemon that you need to you need to trade while holding an item. And there's also different things that you can find useful here as well. That you'll unlock as you go. For example, right, we have the metal coat. For example, you got to give it a Scyther and then trade it while it's holding the metal coat to evolve into a Scizor. So that's just one example. Or you need the King's Rock for Slowpoke to be holding as you trade that for it to evolve into a Slowking. So those are just 2 examples, right? So evolution items, massive. Again, progress, unlock gym badges, and the more gym badges you have, the more evolution items will be available for purchase. And that's just a way to easily evolve any Pokemon that require evolution items, such as the Eeveelutions, which again, I have a whole guide for. I'm probably going to end up linking a bunch of guides down in the description below to help you guys out with all those other kind of fine details. So make sure you do that. All right, so for this last part, it's kind of like a 2 birds, 1 stone. And it's about exclusives. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to show anything on screen. I'm just going to kind of cruise around and throw some general gameplay for anyone who wants to avoid spoilers. But you're going to need to collect exclusives, right? Because exclusives are going to be one of those things where you're going to, unless you have both versions of the game and you have a way to trade, you know, you have maybe like 2 switches, you can trade back and forth amongst each other, or you have like a local friend. Either way, you're going to have to trade it with someone somehow. So you're going to need exclusives. So I highly recommend that you keep tabs on which ones are exclusive. Again, I'll leave a link down in the description below that's going to link to showing you guys exactly, you know, which ones are Scarlet exclusives and which ones are Violet exclusives. That's going to help you guys out so you guys know which ones to keep a hold of. So what you're going to want to do is at least have duplicates of all the exclusives, so then you can trade them with people. Now, if you're looking for someone to trade, you guys can either utilize the comment section of this video, you can utilize our Discord, which you can find a link down in the description below, or you can go to the Pokemon Discord, which I found a lot of help over there for, which you can find. I don't know if I can link it personally, but if you look up the Pokemon Discord, the official Pokemon Discord, I'm sure you'll be able to easily find it. There's that as well. There's always Reddit. There's so many other places you can find people to trade with. And honestly, the Pokemon community are great. They're a lot of fun, and most people that I've interacted have been very, very friendly and easygoing. So you can utilize that, but make sure you collect as many doubles of exclusives as you can, because you're going to want to trade for the alternative version exclusives. Now, this one is mildly spoilery. Okay, so if you want to skip ahead, I should have chapters in the video link, the description, whatever. But it's not super spoilery. But the thing is, you can't trade your rideable Pokemon, which in my case right here is Miraidon, right? You're going to need to get a second version of them. Now, there is a way to do that, and it is baked into the game. It's not a kind of glitch or anything like that. Again, I have a guide on my channel for that, but I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm not going to say how in this video, but if you want to check out that guide, then I'll link that. Again, I don't want to go into spoiler territory, but that's going to be the version that you're going to need to enable to trade it with someone else. Now, you can do a touch trade, meaning you trade back, or you can trade for keeps. Whatever you decide with the person you're trading with, you can do that. But you're going to need that in order to complete the dex, because you're going to need both box art legendaries. That's all I'm going to say. speaking of legendaries, there's one more thing. There are 4 new legendaries, Gen 9 legendaries. And it involves these 4 different shrines that are different colors and these colored stakes that you find around the region. I have guides, again, for all 4 of those. I don't want to spoil anything here, but you're going to also need those 4 Pokemon to complete the dex. That's pretty much it. If you do all that, you should be able to complete your Pokedex, easy peasy. Same thing with the starters, by the way. You're going to need to breed them. So if you don't know how to breed, again, I have a breeding guide on my channel, but just to take you guys through it very, very quickly, you can find Dittos typically outside of Medali. That's not Medali. That's not the region at all. Right here. Medali is right here, and right in this kind of region outside where I'm at, kind of where we started the video and now where we're kind of ending it. It's located kind of northwest of the Great Crater of Paldea, right up here. Just kind of like southwest of the snowy region. Right here, you're going to find a lot of Dittos. You just kind of look at the behavior of the different Pokemon, and if they're acting a little weird, a little bit different, maybe like avoiding you, it's most likely a Ditto, or you can just run into a bunch of them and just kind of trial and error. Usually you can find Dittos as like Persians, Meowths, Jigglypuff, Eevees, at least in this region right here. A lot of those Pokemon will typically be Dittos and things like that as well. So you can get a Ditto, and then what you can do is you can actually get off your Pokemon. You can go back into the picnic area, because that's where you're going to do all the breeding. And again, there's sandwiches that increase the egg power that you can utilize as well. I'm not going to go too in depth with this because, again, it's going to take too long. But basically, you know, whatever Pokemon that you have here, there's a chance for them to breed. So if you have, let's say, a male and a female version, they can breed. But if you have one of the other, either male or female, plus a Ditto, then they can breed as well. And you're going to go to this basket to check for eggs. And, you know, if there's eggs, you're going to get the eggs there. And then you're going to be able to hatch the eggs. There's faster ways to hatch the eggs by having a Pokemon with Flame Body at the top of your party. Again, I'm just going through this really, really fast, really brief, because I don't want to spend too much time on it. Because, again, this video is already super long. So if you want to see the guide for breeding, I'll link that in the description below as well. But breeding is going to be useful because you can breed your starter and then hatch those eggs and be able to trade to other people for their other starters, right? Because obviously you're going to need the other 2 starters because you only get 1. So that's how you're going to get the starter Pokemon as well. Okay, well, I think that pretty much covers it. I'm pretty sure I hit every nail on the head. If there's anything I missed, again, please let us all know in the comments below if you guys have additional tips. If you have, you know, tips that are better than my methods, you just want to kind of, you know, tweak and let us know that's, you know, maybe a better way to do it or something like that. Again, this is just the way I went about it. I felt like this was an efficient way for me personally. It may or may not be for you, but I wanted to give you guys tips and tricks that, you know, hopefully will help you out as well to complete that dex, so you can get all 400 Pokemon, and then of course unlock that beautiful coveted shiny charm. So there you guys have it. That is the complete Pokedex, 400 out of 400 Pokemon that are in Paldea in Scarlet and Violet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. And again, or if you have any other tips or tricks. And I'll see you guys soon in another one. Till then, my friends, stay safe, stay well. I'll see you guys soon. Till then, game on.